Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different Kickstarter tabletop game every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, give my honest thoughts on how that project is being ran. And today, I'm very excited to check out the 7th most popular project in all the games right now, that is Waste Nights. 130 minutes, 16 stretch goals unlocked. One of those I don't care about, because I can clearly see it's funded right there. But the other one, love showing me 16 stretch goals unlocked. Now, as much as I love that, I do hate the fact that I actually don't know the player count, or the time link, or the age for this game, or expansion, I should say. Doesn't have solo. Like, questions like that should immediately be answered right from the jump, I do believe. A massive expansion for the post-apocalyptic board game of adventure ... So I don't know mechanisms, I don't know anything about the gameplay. All I know is this is an expansion to a game that's set in the post-apocalyptic. Just little bits of information that could be conveyed there, and they're not. And that's a little bit annoying as someone who's never heard of Waste Nights before, which is the majority of gamers. You know, there's so many games that come out, don't just assume. And now, and here's the thing, it says 1 to 4 players, but that little bit got cut off. And survival set in dystopian Australia for 1 to 4 players. Oh, Australia as well, cool. So $146,000 raised. As always, when I go in the video, I'm thinking 3 things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? Let's go. Minute 9, like that. Short and sweet.
We were born in the dirt.
Theme.
We fought the bad,
Art.
the ugly,
Gameplay.
and the tough.
Soon.
Then we learned there's a world outside,
Transition me to the
far
game
out
board.
in the toxic seas. And it's hostile.
Nope. So we're going 100% theme, and if this is a deeply thematic game, I imagine this gets you super duper excited. However, as we mentioned at the beginning, most people probably don't know exactly what this game is about. Is this like Seventh Continent? Is this a worker placement game? What kind of game am I looking at? Is this cooperative? Is this a one versus all game? I know nothing so far. I will say, artwork looks great, and I'm interested in everything you're showing me. Which says to me that if I'm an original fan of the game, I'm probably really hyped for this. And I'm going to take a bold prediction here. I love to do this sort of thing. I'm going to make a prediction that the pledge level that is the expansion is more popular than the pledge level that is the new game in the expansion. I'm probably going to be wrong, but sometimes a nut finds a squirrel. Or vice versa.
A lot to do for the feelers if you choose to go beyond the horizon with me.
Okay.
Beyond the Horizon, a massive expansion for Waste Nights 2nd Edition.
Ooh.
Now on Kickstarter.
Let me give me that side box shot right there. Did you show me the side of the box? Okay, so it's not like a massively thick box. Looks like it's about ticket to ride size thickness. Okay, cool. That's a good thing to know. And then they show me an even better shot of the box. 1 to 4 players, 45 to 180 minutes to play. There we go. That's something I think should be on the front. A solo game that can take up to 180 minutes tells me this is going to be meaty. This is going to be deep, hopefully thematic. And then, yeah, okay. And now I'm hoping I'm going to get the Passion Project vibe, because I love passion projects like this. Massive expansion of the post-apocalyptic board game of adventures, so I'd love to see all this stuff zoomed in. Like, I can't read any of this. I can't even really make out. Like, what? I guess she's surfing or something, or she's an angel, or those wings? Is that a wave? Or is that a mountain? He's somewhere. He's got a flag, maybe. He's got a hat. I can't see enough here, and I don't like that. I wanna see more. I still want to know about your game. Oh, but I was so excited to know about the game, I forgot to check the track record, which is always important to do. We come in peace and bring our otherworldly games to your table. Playing a board game is a unique experience, and we make that experience even more immersive with both classic and innovative mechanics and themes in our product range. You will surely find something that suits your playstyle. We are hardcore gamers from Poland with years of experience in the market. We cooperate with such companies as Fantasy Flight Games, Ares, and Cosmos to localize their games in Poland, but we also design, develop, and publish around the world our own titles with This War of Mine, the board game, Age of Thieves, Kings and Assassins, Zombie Terrors for the most successful The Shadow Planet. And our second game funded via the Kickstarter platform. The first one being, wait, was that, that was like a whole bunch of games they listed there, but it was weird. It made it sound like it was one. The first one being Waste Night, 2nd Edition, already in fulfillment. Okay, so good. They're saying, hey, we got a track record. We know what we're doing. We're a legit company. You got the link. Thank you very much. That's what I want to see. You know, want to check out the website, not just a, yeah. Okay. Not working right now, but that's not holding up against them. That might just be me. The Shadow Planet, the board game, and then Waste Knights second edition. So there was a Waste Knights first edition as well, but it was not Kickstarter. Okay, and that is 4,000 backers. So that one did really well. So the Shadow Planet, a sci-fi board game of paranoia. Let's make sure people got their stuff. That's the most important thing here. Have all U.S. games been shipped out? I'm in Michigan and nothing yet. 9 days ago. Hey, sorry, I have more gameplay questions. I hope you can answer. The scrap metal. So this is not a great rule booklet. If you have 4 questions, I want you to really think about this. If you go through a board game and you have 4 different questions in the rules, that's not great. Now, granted, the heavier the game gets, the longer the game gets, the better that is. But it's not ideal, and it's something that concerns me, especially considering they haven't done the customer service to come back and respond to them either. My friends and I have tried the game out, and we find it interesting. Ooh, that's not a good word. But we have 2 questions regarding gameplay. The communicator card allows us to look over the play. Okay, so they did respond. So the game is out. People have got it. So can you do it on the last game? Good. And then Waste Night second edition. Obviously, I would imagine this one is out. Or else that would be really gutsy. 7,393 comments. That's a lot. Okay. We can check, received everything, look forward for the next expansion project. Okay. 2 months ago, so we're good. So can you do it game-wise is yes. They can most definitely get the game from point A to point B, which is good to know. Will it be a great game? I'm sure they're probably going to convince us right here about how much love Wastelands is with some delicious quotes, potentially. And so, like, these components, they look good. I just want this all zoomed in. I love story-driven adventures, and this has it in spades. Now, that is a great quote. I love story-driven adventures, and this has it in spades. Because once again, I'm hoping that theme is going to come across really heavy, and so I like that. This game is rich in immersion, theme, and adventure. Okay? Once again, great focusing on the theme. Now let's pivot to gameplay, because neither of these ones have mentioned gameplay yet. Every decision has a great and interesting impact on your adventure. Now that's also fantastic. As much as I want, that kind of does let me know. Okay, so the choices I make are going to, there's branching paths in this game. Awesome. That's what I love to hear. So I'd say those were banger quotes right there. I think that was a great 3 quotes to start with right there. Toxic tides bring to the waste a promise of new opportunities, awaiting those bold enough for the things with the stuff. Are these clickable? Those aren't clickable. That'd be nice if those are clickable. There's no one better equipped to travel, so you're theming me. You're theming me. Places you want to not dare to go. 6 destinations around Australia. That's awesome. Sea cards empowered by custom sea dice. You know what's better than telling me about all these components and making them in bold? Showing me the picture of the long, sexy, scrolling component shot. Because at the end of the day, 3 things you need to convince everybody. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? And right now, I do want to know more about the gameplay. You're not yet talking about gameplay, but I really want to know the price as well. So I'm waiting at these, and instead of giving me those things, like those are 2 things that I want right now. I'm just in my head, like, I want to know the price. I want to know more about the game. And instead, you're just doubling down on theme and telling me about components, which is just so odd. The expansion features new story-driven adventures akin to the ones in the base game, as well as never-seen-before-seen sandbox adventures. It's a big recommend for an adventure games fan. So once again, solid. That's a good. I'm glad. But I want to know more about the gameplay, about what in the game, and then we have meet new knights. So you're showing me minis. You're showcasing minis. So we are at least showing components, which is good. Looks good. Theming me. Different characters. Cool. Different, diverse, unique characters. Love it. Good. Good stuff. Things. Mad Ash. This looks fun. This looks fine. What's in the box? Here we go. Where is the box? So 3 detailed knight miniatures, a 32mm scale. I know 32mm is the normal, but at least give me inches too. Can we push for that? Because it's just, most of the people bagging this are from the United States of America. Let's see if this is reloading. Looks like it will. Yeah, I thought that might be on me. So 767. By the way, crushing in Poland, 347. Awesome number, but still doubled by United States of America. And centimeters, we won't do it. And I don't know why. It annoys me. It's the 10-10-10 thing. It seems so simple. Why do we fight it? Why do we fight it? Why are there 12 inches? Why are there 3 feet in a yard? Okay. Anyway, I'm with you. Sea travel boards. Okay. They look, yeah. I'd love to see these zoomed in. But is that the main board? Because if that's the main board, it looks like a lot of the stuff's going on just in cards. Which, it is what it is. That's fine if this is mostly a card game. So 7 ship cards. Cool. I'd love to see the back of one of these. You're only showing me the fronts. I'd love to see the back. So 45 C cards. Lots of text, it looks like. They're very blurry. Like, you blurred out all the text. Why would you blur out all the text? It looks like you intentionally blurred out all the text. If you defeat this... Like, right there, it just gets really pale. That's such an odd choice. I love looking at the cards and seeing what... Like, getting a taste for the gameplay. And I'm looking at this card. Granted, you didn't actually show me the whole card because you covered it with 45C cards. And maybe because you're trying to, save for spoilers, and that's why you're blurring it. That actually makes sense to me now that take backsies. Okay, take backsies. It is an adventure game. But I'd still like to see a mock card of what one looks like. Or I don't know. I want to know more about the game already. 24 destination cards. You're not showing me anything. At least now I want the blurry vision. Now you're not even showing me the other side of the card. I'm like, no, give me back the blurriness. At the very least, 4 new exploration cards. Okay. 14 new physical cards. So how many... I always do a card counter. I try to. So how many cards are we actually up to? 52, 76, 80, 94, 109, 153, 159, 169, 171, 177. So 177 cards. Okay. That's not as much as I was expecting. So hopefully the rest of the... So then... And here we go. Rule booklet, guide, and book of tales. How many pages is this? How many pages is it now? How many pages... Like, is there stretch goals where it's going to get to more? I'd like to know more about these. I'd like to see the side shot. Because it looks really thick. Like, right from this angle... I don't know why I'm actually doing this because it's a computer. But from this angle, it looks really thick. How many pages? 12 plastic water markers. The C dice. Over 60 tokens. 4 reference sheets. Oh, those are nice. Those are intentionally blurred out too. But that one doesn't make any sense because that's not spoiler. Companion app available. Wow, that's fantastic to know as well. This is all really amazing stuff surrounding this game that gets me excited about this game. Yet I don't know what I'm doing. It's a truly great experience full of well-presented post-apocalyptic mood and immersive gameplay. I would love to know more about the immersive gameplay. So, stretch goals. Convert those currencies for me. Once again, we go back to it. I know it's your currency, but the majority of the people that are here that are interested in your stretch goals are from the United States of America. And it's like, hit me with those prices too. Because Kickstarter does it. Kickstarter converts it. Automatically. They just give me mine. So the majority of the people in here are like, oh, wait, so are we close to this? Because our currency is way off right here. Or no, maybe you just have a lot of stretch goals. Oh, you got micro stretch goals. Wow. 3 additional ship cards. That's great because once again, 7 seemed underwhelming to me. And now I go back to the area where you just showed me all the components. And I feel like this is a missed opportunity to like put the +3 unlock. So it used to say 7. Now it says 10. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm getting all that added value. And there's going to be a stretch goal section to boot. That's exciting. 5 additional C cards. An additional mini. Wait, didn't we see him up there? Did you not spotlight that they were... Well, yeah, let's go check that out. Where is it? The 3 vehicle cards. So there's 7. Yeah, so 7 ship cards. Okay, so yeah, so isn't it 10 now? Because when I got to 7, I was like, okay, that's okay. 5 additional wastelands, 6. So it looks like they're taking the tried and true strategy of just... hoping that they get high enough that they hit all these stretch goals, and then it becomes an amazing, can't-miss proposition when people get to the price. Which, I'm not knocking that. It works for a lot of companies. But if you stutter, and then people really start to look at your price, and they're like, man, that price isn't as great as that box should be, and they're like, oh, well, we're going to unlock a bunch of stuff. It's a dangerous knife to walk on. And I don't know the prices yet. And that really is, I want to know the prices by now. Like, look, we are halfway through the page, and I still don't know the prices. And I know I can go over here and I can just look at it. But if you're on mobile or if you're on iOS, that's an extra click. And the majority of people who browse on Kickstarter are on mobile. So it should be in your story. Sandbox Adventure Crown of the Waste. Expanding the guide and the Book of Tales with new rules and narrative entries. What does that mean? How many pages is that? Show me an idea of what you're giving me. Now, maybe... if you're familiar with the game, then that makes complete sense, but the majority of people are not going to be familiar with your game. First thing, always have price at beginning, annoys me to no end. Yeah, get down to business. Additional vehicle sheet camper. Cool, that looks great. By the way, that the Will Smith movie where he's with a robot and he goes across America. No, it's Tom Hanks. It's really good. Really heartfelt movie. At least I liked it. 3 additional ship cards, 5 additional gear cards, and then, whoa, scenario from the depths? What the hell is this? This is a banger of a stretch goal. That's a lot of stuff. We hit that, right? Have we hit 135 euros? Can I convert it? So, yeah, we have. Awesome. Good. 4 editions. So, yeah, that's a wow. And then we get to another banger of a stretch goal as well. At least I think so. Yeah, it's 4 cards and a thing. Okay, so that's a fun stretch goal area. I will give them kudos on that. Nitpicks on the money things. But that's a really fun stretch goal area. I would interweave that with the pledge area too, to say just get you more excited as you're going through the list of components. Because are there some people who will go through that? I just need to know this. Like, how much am I paying? You support us in many ways, not only by pledging to this project. The more people learn about this expansion for Waste Night 2nd Edition, the more survivals will populate the toxic seas around Australia. There are 2 kinds of social stretch goals. The Board Game Geek fans, you make it clickable. I always say this, you make it clickable, you got yourself an easy one. Right there. I always do that. Facebook, sure. Bam. Do it again. Bam. Make them clickable. Always make them clickable. So here we go. Click on the expansion BGG page. And this isn't clickable, which is an odd choice because I'm pretty sure it's not terribly difficult to do that in the back end. But at least I like the fact that they put these up here, like let off with them. And then they show you what you're getting as well. So this is nice. I like this. Solid. Hey, pledges! It took forever to get here. 55 euros. Convert the currencies, please. Now, luckily, I forgot the euro is super down, so it's roughly around our bucks. So about $60. MSRP, that's really reasonable. For the expansion you showed me, there was a lot of components in said expansion. I do think that was the expansion, right? And then we have... So this is the one that you really want to sell me, though. And this just... And that's really... First thing... yeah, so... This is the one that you want most people to take, right? Like, that just seems objectively like, duh, yeah, this one sells 1,000, then we can do another print run, like Amazing or something like that, potentially. But I feel like this was so buried. Like, look at the position on the page. We were more than halfway down this page before I get to the price, which, once again, I feel like this is a pretty dang reasonable price. $180 getting me into this massive adventure that already has the big box, which, once again, have you shown me what's in that box? I think you did. Maybe you didn't. No, I think this is a sideboard for this board. Where is the shot of all the components of the original game and the base game? I think that is just not anywhere that we haven't seen that, right? I'll check when we go back up because my mouse scroller sucks right now. Want to go all in? Pledge Scourge of Land and Sea. Choose the following cosmetic add-ons. Choose the Castaway. Okay. How can I add the add-ons? And oh yeah, I think you can see how many people have taken add-ons now. So that's really fascinating. So where are their add-ons? Where are the add-ons? The add-ons are dice set, playmat, and dice tray. Oh, did you show me these? Where are these? What? You're trying to sell me something you haven't shown me at all? Kind of a shame they do not offer previous Kickstarter stretch goals for the base game's earlier run. Oh, yeah, that's always something that a lot of people hate. But if you promise them only... I mean, I don't know exactly what it was, but yeah, that's... But at the end of the day, like, that really says how much we are as gamers, where I'm like, where you pointed out, and then I'm like, yeah, and then I'm like, I'm looking at myself like, so we're going to get like 98% of the game, but we're like, man, that 2% that we're probably never, ever, ever, ever going to touch. That's like, but no, I agree with you, and that's just, it speaks to gamers, and it's so interesting. Like, what has Kickstarter done to us? How can I add the add-ons? Okay, so the Castaway. So now we get the add-ons. The playmat. Is it? I don't know. Does it have the nice edges? If it has the nice edges, it always zoom in on that. Once again, you're showing me the centimeters. Convert it to me for the inches. United States of America and whatnot. 12 additional custom dice. A dice tray. Is this a custom dice tray, or is this just... Oh, yeah, it is. It has artwork in it. Okay, I didn't see the artwork. I'm blind, apparently. Outback Chronicles dedicated note for taking notes during gameplay. Okay. That's really kind of intriguing to me. Kickstarter exclusive miniatures pack. Oh, so this was the other thing that was in the big pledge level that you're trying to sell. So Waste Night 2nd Edition. The retail version. I thought we were done with our pledges. Apparently we're not. So if you just want the new edition of the game and the expansion... Those are 110. Then you can find out more about the Tales from the Outback expansion. Then this is something that's a thing. I don't know. It's kind of just lumped in there. How to play Waste Nights. Whoa! How to play video?
figures to the camera.
16 minutes. Oh, that looks awesome. Sign me up. That's a great first video to have, honestly. I would put that way higher. Because honestly, I feel like after the slog that you made people go through to get here, they're probably over here if they're going to shop by now. Granted, I'd still have to know the shipping as well. Play it right, so that's awesome video. Waste Nights wraps an excellent choose your own adventure inside a highly thematic RPG post-apocalyptic wasteland. Look at you, Alex. It's a great quote. And I kudos Alex, but I also kudos them for using that quote, because a lot of times they'll just pick stuff out. I just feel like they're not great. Because once again, this one, reinforces the idea. Choose your own adventure, which I love. Post-apocalyptic theme. I think they're leaning way too hard. And this is the whoa. This is a preview. Story-driven. Is this a preview? Why the previews? No, thank you. So I'm not a big fan of this as well. They seem really buried at the bottom. And why are you giving me a preview of the second edition? I just feel like it'd be so much more worth your time. Oh, it's right here. To actually, to give me quotes from the reviews of people who played the game. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. So this is the Waste Nights second edition. So this is the one that's the thing is based on. So what's the average? What's it rated? 2,400, 561, 422. So that's pretty damn good. I mean, that's top 3,000. That means most likely the majority of the people who play that game are probably going to enjoy that game. Like, you might not like that game personally, but see, I can see why other people like that game. That's around that territory. Like, you're consistently getting great games there. And so I'm sure there's some fantastic quotes from people who reviewed the original game. And the choice not to use those is just really odd, and instead focus on quotes from previews. Now, the quotes from previews you got were great quotes. But I'm sure this is like someone's, top 10 game of the year or something like that. And I mean, like, things like that, I think would be really helpful as well. So we got the shipping finally buried towards the bottom, not at the complete bottom. Let's check out the pledge levels. See what the most popular. So sitting on the fence, 325. Does that give you the option to the pledge manager? No. So that is a legit 325 people sitting on the fence. Okay. Fearless Sea Dog. So this gets you the second edition expansion. So how many people back for the expansion? 1676. And I go back to my prediction I made at the beginning, which was, I think, this pledge level right here, which is just the expansion, is going to do a lot better than the expansion, plus the base game, which presumably, typically on Kickstarter, is the more popular pledge level. But I don't feel like they did a great job of really selling me on it. Scourge Land and Miniatures, and then we got 188? No, that's really bad. That's a really bad number. Wow. That's almost 10 to 1. So, because here's what this tells me. This tells me the people who like this game love this game. It's a fan-freaking-tastic game. There's 1,500 print run right there. That's a 2,000 print run right there you can easily pay for. And then you got 400 plus to sell off the back end. If not more, because it's actually more because of this. You got the 188, but then only convert nearly. That's a really low percentage. And you go look at other Kickstarters that do the similar thing. This is the juicy expansion. This is where you get to buy the expansion in the base game, and you talk about how amazing the game is, and it made this top 10 game list, and Tom Vassell said this, and somebody else said this, and you get these quotes, and it's just, wow, that's really surprising to me. Like, I was expecting it to be lower than 1,600, but not that much lower. Okay, all prices listed below are only estimates. We will be doing our best. So where's the VAT? Where's the VAT? To cover the VAT, UPS, EU. The games will be shipped from the EU using FedEx air freight, so the delivery should be close to the end of production, which is planned to be carried out in Poland, which I think means VAT-free? Because if that means VAT-free, that's one thing I shout from the rooftops. Let's go back to this main image. No information about so you fund in 30 minutes. Don't care. If this is VAT-free or you have some sort of spectacular shipping, then mention that right from the jump. I feel, because once again, I go back to that main image, and what I saw, I didn't know it was 1 to 4 players. I didn't know there was a fantastic this. Please note the pledge does not include any shipping cost. Okay. All prices below are only estimates. That's fine. 23 to 30. Come on, convert the damn currency. Because yes, I now have burned into my brain that's around about the dollar. But I would come on, put it in there. It just makes sense. I think 15 to 20. So this is a solid shipping. 5 to 7 in Poland. Go Poland. Asia. Rest of the world, please only ship to Kokomo, P.O. boxes. We cannot guarantee custom friendly shipping outside of the countries listed. Oh, so the VAT is EU, UK, that friendly. Everywhere else still got it. Okay. But I'd still mention that. Totally mention that. Mention the designer. Let's go back to that. Has he designed anything aside from this? Just out of curiosity's sake. Where was it? Where was Waste Knights? Because that's one thing that I always recommend spotlighting as well, too. You know, so designer. 7 Ronin. Okay. 2 games in the top 3,000. That is really fantastic. You know, we're not comparing everybody to Stefan Feld. I mean, that's amazing. Like, that is objectively great. There are quite a few publishers who have published, or designers published tons of games, not sniffing the top 3,000. All right, so let's go check out of the FAQ, the updates, comments, give this one a grade. They said all Kickstarter stuff, but the camel and the other car is social is not available, but they're looking into doing something about it. They said all Kickstarter stuff, but the camel and the other car in social is not available. So, oh golly, hate this. Hate the FAQ immediately. I reckon because anytime you have more than like say five questions, it just becomes annoying because now it's like I have to read through every single one of these until I get to mine. And if I don't get to mine, now I'm like, dang, it wasn't even in here. But at least when you organize it, I check out Reload from Colossal Games, how they organize theirs, and I see a bunch of other companies doing it. I'm going to shove that rock to make that the damn industry standard. It's not my idea, by the way. I'm not saying this is my idea. I saw Reload from Colossal Games do it first, which is why I always give them the love. But it's just, it organizes so much easier. Why is this a second edition? Do I need the first to play? The original game was published in 2015. I want to back the project, but my country's not listed. Can I get the Castaway miniature after 24 hours with the pledge manager? I want to replay mat. Okay. Yeah, it's not fun to navigate through. 6 comments, 2 comments, 2 comments, 10 comments. Oh, no. That's not good. That's really poor update engagement right there. And I go back to that big number, which was, what was it, like 1,600 people who are returning backers. Those are people who love the game, like the game. No, they probably love the game. Because if you're going to get the expansion, do you get expansions for games that you like, or do you get expansions for games that you love? And I think most people like, unless it looks like it's going to completely, bump up the game. So you got all these people super interested in the game. You can tell it in the hearts. Look at it, 58 hearts. These are great heart numbers, but you're not engaging your backers. They're not commenting on these updates, which means at the end of the day, it's not a great update because that's what Kickstarter wants. They want you to tickle that Kickstarter algorithm so you can stay up towards the top. And it's going to be hard. I'm very interested to see how this goes over the next 18 days when it's, primarily the diehard fans and they're learning that, okay, there's not much engagement. There's not much excitement here. There's not much reason to come back, aside from those stretch goals. Don't get me wrong, those micro stretch goals, those keeping the boat afloat. And that, I think that's really a testament to how great micro stretch goals are. I mean, just as a Kickstarter consumer, micro stretch goals are the best. Like, who's like, I don't love coming back to the Kickstarter and seeing that I've got 8 new cards, in the last week. Like, that's just exciting. But anywho, so let's check out the updates. Let's check out this one. As you might imagine, these past 24 hours have been a truly unique experience. 200 fans on the BGG. That's great, and that's fantastic. That's probably getting you up on the hotness, which is what... And this is why I always love it. And this is why I hammer on some companies so much when I get to their game, and it's not on Board Game Geek, or the Board Game Geek page is abysmal. You are essentially saying, I have no interest in being on the hotness. We made $200,000, but I don't want to be on the hotness. I don't want to turn that into, an extra 100,000. It's just... It drives me nuts, and they're clearly trying to churn that hotness, and I love it. 5,000 likes on the Facebook page, great, and they're getting Facebook likes, they're getting that, so they're getting, and this is going to make it so it's easier for them to launch bigger next time with those Facebook things. That's great. And so now we're getting to the other stretch goals. Wait. Didn't we already have, this is the update. I got so excited about that. Updates. So this is a lot. This is some great information in here. And this is what I say. You can make an absolutely fantastic thing, but asking a question, it's just so much easier. I would always lead off with a question. The FAQ section, hope you'll find answers. If you're new to the campaign, have just backed it, you can still get the Castaway miniature. Okay. Comments. Thank you so much for the whole support. We're very close to unlocking 2 stretch goals, 1 here. So they're in here, they're churning it. Awesome. They are really in the comment section. Great customer service here. Looks solid. I will say, because yeah, this is all gone really well, but I do want to say, go take care, because inevitably they might see this, go take care of these fine people right here. Kyle, help Kyle out, help Momo out for sure, because Momo is probably over it at this point. Okay, anywho. Final grade for Waste Knights Beyond the Horizon expansion. Do I want it? Yes. As someone who loves the idea of a 1 to 4 player, choose your own adventure, post-apocalyptic, and now this is going to add even more stuff. Like, that's a really tantalizing, fun thing for a gamer to get into. So, what you're selling here is fantastic. I want this top 3,000 rated game that's getting tons more content that I'm going to be able to explore for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. With my loved ones, no less, because I think this is cooperative. I'm still not 100% sure on the gameplay, but there's gameplay previews. Was there a gameplay video? Oh, I don't want to go down again. It's super important, though. Was there a gameplay video? At the very least, because there's tons of videos. One of these had to be a gameplay video. Waste Nights. These are different. So the English gameplay. This is a review. Oh, so these are the reviews, but I didn't see any quotes from this review. So they did post some reviews behind the previews, but why not? Like, where's the quotes of people who actually have the physical game? You know. And then there's no gameplay here. So yeah, that's a half point ready to drop from me, because that's like you're just burying people with videos there. When honestly, I imagine that how to play video is the one that moves the needle the most. So, do I want it? Yes, I do. Can you do it? Yes. This is the second print run. Customer service looks to be up to snuff. You had a couple issues in the back end. Go take care of those people. But overall, people are getting their stuff. It doesn't look scammy or anything bad like that. How much is it? I go back to the price. It's been so long, it took me forever to find it, and I say, wow, that's a really reasonable price for an expansion, $58. You know, it goes up to like 80-something when you get to the shipping, but whatever. It's for that 1,676 people, they had to have it. But then I get to here, and I go, okay, 220-something or whatever it may be. That seems like a reasonable entry point for a game of this style, which presumably has hundreds of hours of gameplay. I don't know, because of all the stuff to explore. I still don't know as much about the game as I want to, I guess. And no gameplay video. Yeah, I can sit through previews, but no gameplay video. That just bugs me a little bit. So, final grade for this one. I think the game looks really awesome. It's a top 3,000 rated game. I think the Kickstarter didn't do its... I didn't think it did it justice, really. And I haven't played the game. Once again, this is not a review of the game. It's a review of the Kickstarter presentation. And you know, I'm second guessing myself. I always try to be like positive on these, but this number right here is just damning. 188 new people here. 1,676 returning. That tells me that this is not appealing to newer people, and I worry how this is going to fare with the unengaging updates, just buried price. I'm going to give this one... I've been giving out a lot of D's. No, there's a lot of great stuff here. Stretch goal, micros. I'm going to go with a C minus, I think. No, I think I'm going to go with a C plus. I think with just some organization, this could be an absolute banger. Because, yeah, it's just the bottom part just kind of took me out of it. But, yeah, I go back to those 3 quotes that led off. They were great quotes. The video was heavy theme. I still know nothing about the game, really, that I want to without going through a preview. I'm going to go with a C+. Let me know in the comments below what's your final grade for the Waste Nights. And as always, if you enjoyed this content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. Thanks for your time, YouTube.